Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a whole new episode of Full Steam Ahead. I'm your host, Zoe, with my partner in crime over there on the other side, Mr. Cantu.
Well, Hello, how's it going? Again, we're back. We're
We are
back for
back.
good. Yeah, I know we
We
took
we
a
are
little.
back.
It was in 2 weeks where we didn't record, but it did not be the last.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we kind of, we told y'all we're gonna be out, but we didn't think we're gonna be out that long. But hey, like you said, we are back, and the Astros, of course, seeing them throughout this stretch and the road trip, at that home series, we were able to see it, but on the road, it wasn't very promising. It was kind of like the first day, it was good. The Astros took Alec Manoah out like really bad because the Blue Jays sent Manoah down to Florida real quick to fix his mechanics. And after that, I mean, it was just difficult to see the Astros play these losing these 1 run games, 2-3, 2-3, and then these extra inning games against the Cleveland Guardians. So I'm getting a little too ahead, but Angel, give me that one word describe this road trip instead of telling me this Cleveland series. Give me this whole road trip overall about this Astros.
I believe it was rather disappointing. Like you said, it started off promising by beating the Blue Jays in that first game, but after that, it just went pretty downhill. I think that Toronto series was the one to watch, maybe like a little postseason preview. Um, I felt that if the Astros could have taken at least 2 games, we're on the right, like they are on the right track. They're like
Yeah,
pretty promised, but now they lost. They lost 3 out of 4, and then they lost 2 out of 3 in Cleveland. Again, I'm not hitting the panic button, but moves do need to be made at the trade deadline, especially with all the injuries. Again, I don't think the Astros have been on full strength the entire season, and it showed in this road games. But they're back home. Hopefully things change from there.
yeah, 2-5 on this road trip. They were shut out the last game against Shane Bieber when he scored. I mean, it was what score was 5-0. But then again, it had a lot of reserves on the bench. You talking about Cesar Salazar, Greg Kessinger, not your normal Astros starters being in that lineup. So nothing to worry about right there. But for the 5 games they lost, like I said, they lost to Toronto with a score of 5-1. They lost another game, 2 games actually, with the 3-2 score. Cleveland in that extra inning game, 10-9, and then they lose to Cleveland with 0 runs. So when they're not scoring a bunch of runs and being three and fewer than that, they're not gonna win a lot of ball games. Especially when you're pitching like Javier, 4 earned runs ain't bad. Hunter Brown, 3 earned runs. I mean, Framber Valdez as well. I mean, all of them did their job. JP France did a great job too, but the Astros offense just was unsuccessful. And then, like you were saying, with the injuries, I mean, Jordan Alvarez was the biggest one. And
Yeah,
when I got that notification, I was like, oh no, this is not good. If you're an Astros fan, you're like right oblique. And people were saying in the beginning, because if you look at his at bat, he had twisted his ankle. And everybody was like saying it was an ankle sprain. So I was like, okay, not bad, not bad. Nothing panic about. But then Chandler Rome, Brian McTaggart, Julia Morales. I think Vanessa Richardson was actually covering for Julia, and they said it was a right oblique strain. That is not what you want to hear because Altuve was out with an oblique injury as well. And with Jordan Alvarez, and we don't even know the severity of it, it's not good news if you're a Nationals fan. But 5 games back, 37-29 record. That Cleveland series, really though, I want to just talk about a little bit about that. That should have been at least a series win. I think
yeah.
both really series should have been won. The first game, I mean, the Astros were up 5-0, and then Cleveland just came back. Ryan Presley couldn't shut the door.
An
Um,
error
and a
with
lot of
Jeremy
errors too.
Pena. I don't know if you saw. I think it was like 2 outs, and Pena threw the ball away to let the tying run score again in that
Oh
extra.
yeah, I think it was like trying to get a double play.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so it's little mistakes here and there, but like you're saying, Angel, there's really nothing to panic.
but
Plus
I
you
do
don't
want to
have a lot of
add.
starters.
I do want to add. Like I feel like this was like the Jordan Alvarez factor as well. Um, I feel like if the Astros didn't have Jordan Alvarez this entire season, they would have lost a lot more games. Like,
Yeah.
um, this series just shows how crucial Alvarez is to this Astros offense, and just he's always a threat. So I feel like when he's in the lineup, pitchers will pitch a lot more carefully or give pitches to hit to either Bregman or whoever's in front of him because they don't want to face Alvarez. So it's just like not having them in the lineup is a really big hit on the Astros offense.
Yeah, it is because I'm trying to figure out what game. I think it was the third game against Toronto. That's when he was pulled and Corey Jokes came in, and the rest is history. The Astros haven't been playing very good so far with him being out of the lineup. But hey, let's throw out some positives out of this series, though. But we got to do our weekly shout outs with this series against the Cleveland Guardians. I'm going to shout out my first one being Jose Abreu.
Well
When
deserved.
Alvarez was out, he stepped up. 4 for 16 with the 16 at bats from that one game, 2 home runs and 6 RBIs, back to back home run games since August 2nd and 3rd when he was with the Chicago White Sox. So, I mean, it's a good thing that he stepped up since Alvarez had injured himself, but at the same time, too, you would love to see that combo, that Cuban connection right there with Alvarez, and then of course you'll probably have Tucker and then Abreu. So it's unfortunate, but hey, that's very positive to see Jose Abreu swing the bat pretty well.
Yeah, I feel like the Astros don't know when they'll get Jordan Alvarez back, so the resurgence of Jose Abreu will be key in this offense. And guys like Bregman and I mean Tucker's been playing pretty well, but they need to step up a little bit more. Jeremy Pena needs to pick it up a little bit more, I and I don't know if you saw that Mauricio Dubon, Jose Altuve at 1 and 2. What do you think about that?
I like it actually. They both done pretty well. I think both of them had multi-hit games in that Cleveland series as well. I didn't even get to shout them out. They did a
Yeah,
great job. Both of them collecting at least 2 hits in both them games. Mauricio got, I believe he was in that third game when they got shut out. He didn't get a hit, but it just shows Mauricio's still taking that job seriously, and he's going to do whatever it takes to win.
yeah. But moving on to the pitching side, J.P. France deserves a shout out this week.
Yeah.
He went 6 and 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 walks, and six strikeouts. He threw a career high in his pitch count of 105 pitches, which is a career high, and he picked up his second win in his seventh start. So, again, the Astros are gonna have to rely on these rookie pitchers of J.P. France, Hunter Brown. I know Bielek's not a rookie, but he's gonna be another one that needs to step up
Yeah.
um, for this Astros team, and that's just a great turnaround for JP France. I know he's been kind of up and down this season, but if he can get that consistency right, that'd be pretty good. And speaking of high pitch count, did you see that Stanford player threw 156 pitches?
156. We're getting college
156.
baseball in here, but yeah,
Yeah,
156, dude. That's
that's
crazy.
impressive.
My arm would be probably thrown off. I
Oh,
mean, I'd probably be needing Tommy John or something.
I think he's done for like a week or two after that one.
Hey, but he did it for the team, and right now, as we speak, Stanford is beating Texas 6-3. So we might not have two Texas teams. We only have one so far, being
TCU.
TCU.
Yeah.
So hey, you never know. Texas could come back.
No, yeah. Who do
Yeah,
you got
but
next?
yeah, my next one, my final one, I got to give it to Seth Martinez, dude. I think he
Yeah.
did a fascinating job in that extra inning game. He did all he could. I mean, it didn't go the way he had hoped, but he did pitch a good 3 innings. I mean, he gave the Astros opportunities to score some runs some way, somehow. But he was shutting the Guardians offense a little bit down. I mean, 3 in the third, 4 hits, 4 runs, one of them being earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. I mean, you could do whatever you can to keep your team in it, and that's what he did. Credit to Stephen Kwan. Stephen Kwan had made 2 good plays in that game. One diving, robbing Altuve for a hit, and then I think he caught one. Not he didn't catch one off the wall, but he played it off the wall so well that it didn't allow Jake Myers to score from I think either first to home or second to home. But yeah, I got to give it to Seth Martinez. He's still that dog, but um, I mean he could do whatever he could to continue because of course that was the first game of that series. And you need a lot of bullpen depth for the next 2 games. And like I said, Seth Martinez did whatever he could to give the Astros the opportunity to win that game.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I think he gave it all he could, and I think at the end he just got tired.
Yeah,
Like
fatigue
that's
just
the
set in.
like that's the longest he's thrown this year. That's the highest pitches he's thrown this year as well. So I think he just got fatigued at the end. But again, he did he stepped up huge to save that bullpen. Um, moving on to some Astros injuries. And the one that I feel like everybody wants to hear about is Jordan Alvarez. So this is per Chandler Rome. Astros general manager Dana Brown was speaking on the Astros pregame show Sunday and said that the timeline for Jordan Alvarez's return is still up in the air a little bit, but it would take a week at least to get a feel for how long it's going to be. So that's not the news Astros fans wanted to hear.
Yeah,
I feel that's not the news that baseball in general wants to hear. I think Jordan Alvarez is great for Major League Baseball, and him out of the season is an impact not just for the Astros but in general. And right now he's leading.
the
He is
American League.
one of the outfielders in the American League for All Stars. So he leads the major leagues in RBIs as well. So again, he's been huge,
Yeah.
and it's a big loss for baseball. Hopefully, we wish him a speedy recovery. And an update on Lance McCullers Jr. He will undergo an MRI tomorrow, or today, Monday, after suffering a setback. Astros general manager Jenner Brown said Thursday a decision on his future will come back after that, early next week. So again, this has been the issue with Lance McCullers year in and year out. But what's your prediction on Lance McCullers' season? Do we see Lance McCullers pitch this season?
There's like a 25% chance. I really think there is a small percentage that will see him on the mound this year. And I give him that small percentage because I still have faith and I still think that he can still pitch for this Astros ball club either in September or October, where it's really going to matter. And the Astros are going to need depth. At the same time, too, he needs to build up his momentum, build up his his pitch count, being able to build up the velocity and everything like that. So I give him that small percentage, but I won't be surprised if they rule him out for the season. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a slim chance. I was gonna say there's a no chance he'll come in, but then I was thinking maybe postseason play is
Yeah.
when he'll come back. But as of right now, regular season, if he gets lucky, I think maybe 2 3 weeks of September, about
Hmm.
3 turns in the rotation, and then we'll see what happens.
Hey, if you think about it too, it could be really beneficial for him to be in the bullpen.
Yeah, I
It could help.
You know what? I saw someone on Twitter post that that's because it should be a closer once Presley is gone.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. And
Yeah,
Presley has been shaky lately. I'm not gonna lie about that. But I won't. I'm not seeing Lance McCullers
yeah,
being in that closer role. I still like him as a starter. He's got good stuff. Like people really, of course, with the injury related news, and he's always hurt every year, which is very true. And when you look back at that contract that he signed with an extension with Houston, you're like, well, shoot, this guy can't even stay healthy for 1 year. But to me, it just matters when it's October, when it's like getting to the fall, when the Astros are running for that postseason to obviously to the get go of the World Series. So,
and
um,
and
yeah,
then I'm thinking, I think that can be kind of a difference maker. Like come October, these pitchers have thrown like 200 plus innings, a little tired, and then a fresh Lance McCullers for his Astros backup would be
yeah,
pretty good. Speaking of another injury update, Michael Brandy. Michael
yeah,
Brandy.
Dr.
Uh,
Smith,
conversation. This conversation has been ongoing all year and the previous year. Per
spring
Bri-
training.
per Brian McTaggart, Brantley hit the cage Thursday. Did some throwing and ran some sprints on the bases. I mean,
Positive,
that yeah,
positive.
that is a positive update. And I know I posted a question on on the Full Seam Ahead Twitter account. It's like, who do we drop if Michael Brantley comes up? I know like a lot of people were saying that Michael Brantley should be demoted to AAA, but again, they're paying him a lot of money. I don't see that happening. Um, so my question to you is, who goes down?
No, it's obviously going to be Cesar Salazar. Greg
Yeah,
Kessinger's another one. You got to get those guys out the way, but the outfielder part is going to be very
yeah,
difficult.
playing time.
Yeah, playing time. Then it's a positive. It's kind of a good thing for the Astros, and then it's kind of like, well, shoot, we really want to keep him because you're gonna give me that question too, saying who the Astros need to do, what their needs are going to be at the trade deadline, and you can use one of these players as a trade chip. Corey Jokes is a dude. I kid you not. I did not think he was going to perform the way he
I
is right
did,
now.
I
I
did.
I didn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't. Uh, the last year he had 30 something home runs. I'm like, man, we got to use this guy as a trade piece to go get that guy to help us win the World Series, and we didn't trade him, and we still won the World Series. But yeah, you got him, you got Jake, you got Chaz, and of course, you still got some outfielders in the farm. You got Jacob Melton, you got the number one guy being Drew Gilbert. So there's some depth in this outfield, that basically in the outfield roster that the Astros have through the majors and through the minors.
Yeah.
So what you're looking at, you could use one of these guys, and I think Corey Jokes is going to be the most valuable, and you're going to get something good for him. I think compared from Jake Myers and Chas McCormick. But Astros needs at the trade deadline, I would have to say a starting pitcher is number one. It's got to be a starting pitcher because if if the news doesn't go well for Lance McCullers, he's out. Jose Urquidy, remember he's coming back the All Star break, but we don't know if that arm is going to continuously be an issue throughout the whole season and going into the postseason, or it's just that one time. So I firmly believe we need to go get a starting pitcher. And I think I even had seen that Dana Brown had talked about getting a left-handed hitter. He wants a hitter, period.
Hmm.
I don't know if you heard that off of
I
Sports
did.
Talk 790 and the tweets out there that he wants a hitter. He wants a batter. He's going to do whatever it takes. So you could possibly see a Jorge Soler guy. Yeah, he does strike out a lot, but my God, that power is strong. And I think Astros fans out there know and have seen the power of Jorge Soler when he was with the Braves in 2021. But I could see him. I could see a Jock Peterson. There was people talking about Cody Bellinger.
Mhm.
I don't know how people are going to feel about that. If to me, it's like if he could help us win, that's all that matters. And but the chemistry of the clubhouse too is another thing. But I think them three guys would be a good one. Pitcher wise, I think Marcus Stroman's going to be the number one guy. I've seen Shane Bieber being in there as well, but I like Marcus Stroman. He man, dude, he could pitch. He could pitch. He has a heart filled with. I mean, he's always thinking he's the underdog when he goes out there, and that's what you need. And you've seen him in big stages like
The
the
World Baseball.
WBC, 2017, for example. He done a great job right there carrying that USA team to their first WBC title. But what do you think? I mean, I'm listing these names. You got any other names you want to go out?
Yeah, there's one lefty hitter down in the West. He wears a red uniform right now. That's gonna be if the Angels fall off contention.
There's no way. There's no way.
Isn't
You're
it
gonna
be
basically gonna sell our whole farm system. The Astros
eh,
are just gonna sell them.
do you want
Give up. No, you're gonna basically
to win a World
the
Series
Astros.
or what?
That's true, but the Astros are gonna do what? But I mean, Shohei's gonna be a
Okay,
free agent though too.
realistically, I mean, it'll be nice to have Otani, but realistically, I do see Astros making a run on Bellinger. Again, the Cubs haven't been like not that well this season. I think they've fallen off expectations. So I I don't know if it'll be the Astros, but I do expect to see a trade. It's gonna be a package between both Stroman and Bellinger go to the same team for a whole lot of prospects. I can see that happening. Like
Yep.
because the
Too
Astros
soon. Yeah.
aren't the Astros aren't the only team that needs a bat and a pitcher. Again, to me, that's to me like I feel like the Astros need to get one guy, one or the other, because again,
Yeah.
we don't want to give up the
And
entire.
I'd rather get up the starting pitcher. I
Yeah,
mean, we need a starting pitcher.
I think the offense
That's
will come around. Like,
exactly. The offense looks good. I mean, if Jordan Alvarez could stay healthy, Corey Jokes has done pretty well for the Astros. And then Mauricio Dubon, Jake Myers has his day. Chas McCormick, it's a platoon. You're gonna do whatever you can. It's a team effort, basically, at
yeah.
the end of the day.
So
But I mean, thinking about that, I was thinking of Juan Soto and Josh Bell. Just saying, with the
yeah.
Padres when they did that deal.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I can see that happening, but again, I feel like the priority is a starting pitcher. Maybe Shane Bieber, like we said. I think I can't remember any other like I wrote those two down, so I can't remember like really remember like any other pitchers in the market. But I think those are gonna be the top two targets for
Yeah, and
everybody.
be aware, Rangers are going to be out there trying to get one
Yeah,
of them guys
oh, for sure.
because Jacob DeGrom, not the news that everybody wanted to hear. I know the baseball fans around the world did not want to hear him being out because this guy has so much talent, but he has been plagued with a bunch of injuries throughout his career. But let's talk about the preview against the Washington Nationals. The Astros are finally at Minute Maid Park. They could give, two questions about that series on the road against the Toronto Blue Jays and Cleveland Guardians. They're back at Minute Maid Park. 26 and 38 are the Nationals' record. They are the last place team in the NL East, And shockingly, I did not know the Miami Marlins were
Yeah,
second, dude. I did not think that. But
I'll
they've
check
been
on
doing
my
pretty
power
good.
rankings. They're
Yep, power
top 10.
rankings are there on Angels, so make sure to catch that and read that about 3-7 their last 10 games for the Nats. And let's go on with Tuesday's matchup. Today's matchup: 7-10 start time. Hunter Brown 5-3 with 3.69 ERA versus Patrick Corbin 4-6 with a 4.89 ERA. Hunter Brown, his last outing wasn't bad at Toronto. Like I said, the Astros just didn't give him enough run support. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. He did give up 2 home runs, which he has been doing that a little bit lately, giving up the long ball. But what pitcher doesn't do that? And then on the other side, the Astros are going to face this guy. I feel like they've seen since 2019. I mean, he was really good with Arizona. Then all of a sudden, when he got that paycheck, he just diminished. Patrick Corbin, last outing versus Arizona. Speaking of Arizona, 6 innings pitch, 11 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. His last outing versus Houston, not he just faced the Astros last year in 2022. 6 innings pitch, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He did give up some long balls to Yuli Gurriel. Of course, Yuli's not with the team no more. But the Machete and Chas McCormick. So
Okay.
possibly we could see some for him. But the thing with these Astros hitters are going to have to do against Patrick Corbin, they're going to have to get him behind the count. They got to. And I had to research this. With a 1-0 count, 337 batting average. 2-0 count, 429 batting average. 3-0, 400 batting average. 3-1 count, 600 batting average. And a 3-2 count, if if it evens out, he's pretty good. 250 batting average. This is opponent batting average, is not his opponents when he pitches against them. So patience, I guess you could say. You just got to wait for your pitch, be able to do some damage with it some way somehow. But that's the only thing I got to say about that. Just get him behind the count, make him pay. I know we do have some play discipline players, being Alex Bregman. Jerry Pena's looked a little bit better. Of course, Jose Altuve is going to be Jose Altuve. But yeah, that's going to be our matchup for Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, we got a 7:10 start time as well. Framber Valdez, 6-5 with a 2.36 ERA versus Josiah Gray, 4-5 record with a 3 ERA. And Josiah Gray's been doing great for the Nats. I think that's their best pitcher they have so far. His last outing at Atlanta, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. And that's against a great
Yeah.
Atlanta ball club. So, props to him. His last outing versus Houston did a really good job last year against him. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He got the loss on that one. Same thing as Patrick Corbin on the other one. He did give up 1 home run, and that home run being against Jose Altuve. So maybe we see little Giante get a bomb over there in the Crawford boxes or into the train tracks. But another thing I had to look into, his comparison of the pitch usage he has done in 2022 to 2023. It's been very different. It's a little bit more off speed and not relying on that fastball that he did in 2022. And 22, four seam fastball, he used it 39.3% of the time. The slider, 29.5% of the time. The curveball, 24.8% of the time. And he never developed any type of cutter. This is all, never thought about it. That's what he was relying on. Now in 2023, like I said, that four seamer was 39.3. It dropped big time, 26.9%. The slider usage went up a little from 29.5 to 30.1. Dropped the curveball as well, 24.8% of the time. Now he's using it 19.1% of the time. And like I said, he didn't have a cutter last year, and he has developed one this season. Throws it about 18.7% of the time. So if you looked at it, he's kind of gotten comfortable with the off-speed pitches instead of that fastball. I guess the fastball last year, hitters were doing a lot of damage against it, and I guess he relied on his, sweeper. He does have a sweeper and a changeup, but he doesn't use that as much. But the slider, the curveball, and now he has a cutter. So, I mean, what do you think? What do you think the Astros are going to do in this matchup against Josiah Gray?
Well, what it looks like is he's done a better mix of his pitches. Again, like he was just relying on three, now on four, and he throws them a lot. So like for the most part, like you see pitchers that throw four pitches. They rely on like their two main pitches and then sprinkle in a changeup or a curveball. But I feel like he Josiah Gray throws them a lot. So I would say just wait on a mistake. Like taking advantage of mistake. I feel like the Astros have done a tough time doing that when
Yeah.
um they've been getting outs when the pitcher leaves a mistake. So um, just we'll take advantage of those.
Yeah, completely agree with you. And then you got Framber Valdez for the Astros. Did a good. I mean, every Astros pitcher did really well against Toronto. It was just the run support, and I'm gonna say the same thing for Javier. Valdez's last outing at Toronto, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. He did have a lot of walks. That's his second time having about 4 walks on the season. 98 pitches, 53 were strikes. And like I said, and I can't stress this enough. I mean, this series there was just not enough run support for the starting pitchers. And we're going to move on for Thursday's matchup 7-10. Christian Javier, 7-1 record, really well. 3.13 ERA versus Mackenzie Gore, 3-5 with a 4.04 ERA. And, I'm just going to go ahead and say in last outing versus Javier against Cleveland, 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. This is the second time this season that Javier has allowed 4 earned runs. The last time was against the Pittsburgh Pirates and a season low with 2 strikeouts. That is very shocking right there. Because that guy, that strikeout per 9 innings is really high sky, especially from last season. But this season, like we had talked about before, velocity has been a little bit low. And the same thing as the strikeout rate. It hasn't been there like how last year was. But Mackenzie Gore, like we were talking about, Josh Bell and Juan Soto was a part of that trade with the Nats and Padres. Well, that was the Padres' number one top prospect in their organization was Mackenzie Gore, and they got him. They got C.J. Abrams, um, took him to the Washington State Capitol. But Mackenzie Gore's last outing against Atlanta, 5 innings, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And let's talk a little bit about him. I mean, because we've never seen him. The Astros have never seen him play. And this is going to be the first time. And sometimes the Astros do good against new pitchers, and then sometimes the Astros don't do so well against these new pitchers. But four-seam fastball, he throws it 60% of the time. 95.2 is his average of the miles per hour. Left-handed hitters are going to have the most success, though, against him. And being only one left-handed hitter in that lineup is Kyle Tucker with a opponent batting average 349 and a WOBA of 435. And the next pitches he throws is curveball 20%, 83.3 miles per hour, slider 19.1, 88.4 miles per hour. And then he has a changeup, 1%. He's only thrown that pitch 12 times, and that being 87.6 miles per hour. So a lot of heavy dosage of that four-seam fastball. Astros are a good fastball hitting team. I think they're going to take advantage of that. We will have to see, though, if the Astros could start off the series on the right note, because there wasn't a great road trip coming back home. I think the Astros are going to look into doing some damage.
Yeah, I believe so. I think this is a series where the Astros can turn things around. The Nationals haven't been doing so hot, and then the Reds are coming into town. I know they got Elita Cruz, and they're they're setting themselves up for success, but they're still not like where they want to be. So
Yeah,
this is where the Astros need to take advantage of the pitchers they're going against, the team they're going against, and turn things around. But it is time to move on for our offensive pitching MVP and hot takes now. I'm not gonna go over the ones from last time because that was a long time ago. Let's just jump
I
into
got to think about it. What was that one? I was against. I don't even know. I think it was the
yeah.
A's.
So
I think, but yeah, no one's gonna care about that. That's too long ago.
yeah. So this week, my hot take for pitching is Framber Valdez gets back on track. He struggled with command last time out, 4 walks and only 5 strikeouts. That's not a Framber Quartet, Framber Valdez typical outing. So I think he has another quality start in him. Less walks, more strikeouts. I think that's what we'll see. And my offensive MVP, Corey Jokes. Again, he's been doing pretty good. I think he steps up big now that it's June. It's hot out here in Houston, and he's gonna get hot too. So
97,
yeah,
97. My God, we're breaking records in heat index out here.
yeah. Well, guess who's gonna get hot? Corey Jokes. H Town. He's used to it. He's ready to go.
True. That's very true.
And my hot take is the offense will out hit the Nationals. Again, the Astros offense has been struggling to score runs, so that is something, hits lead to run. So that's what we're looking to see.
Definitely, I agree. I think Corey Jokes, like you said, he's used to this Houston Heat, so maybe he does get hot, and that offense too could get behind him because I mean, Altuve's played here so many years, Bregman's played there so many years. it's a good time to get hot because I mean, All Star voting, you might want them to be in that All Star game out there in Seattle to cool off. But my offensive MVP is going to be Jose Abreu. I think he's carrying the load right now, dude. He's just carrying it. Since Alvarez has been out, he's done pretty well. So I think it's a good opportunity for him to continue on that RBI production, especially with Alvarez being out. He could be the next guy up, Tucker especially too. So maybe we could see the 2020 version of that AL MVP, Jose Abreu. I mean, he's already hit 3 home runs this season. Hey, continue it on. He's already have 2 in June. But pitching MVP, I'm gonna go with Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown had a decent outing, like we were talking about, with all the pitchers. Had 3 walks, not a lot of strikeouts that he usually throws as well. But with a Nats team like this, I think he could take full advantage of something like this. So I got him as my pitching MVP. And then my hot take. Astros are going to take this series against the Nats and possibly could be a sweep. Like I was saying, it was not a good road trip for them. They're looking to come back to Houston, especially with the weak team in the Nationals before they play the Reds and the Mets. Who these teams, I mean, especially the Mets, that's a very surprising. But the Reds, not so well, great ball clubs, but you got to take advantage. You can't play to that competition. I think the Astros are going to, change it around this series against the Nats.
Yeah, I feel like you can't let up on on the Reds. See what they did with the Dodgers like a few series ago.
I think it's that Ellie De La Cruz effect, dude.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's just a spark. It's just like I remind myself of Correa when the Astros brought him up against the White Sox, and we just got to that wild card. So I can see the same thing for Ellie De La Cruz being that spark for the Cincinnati Reds.
yeah, and they still have Encarnacion Strand in AAA
Yeah, Triple A too.
who is
Yeah,
tearing it up. Like so, like
don't trade these guys, Reds organization. Do not trade these
uh,
guys.
the Reds are gonna be a good team in the
Yeah,
years to come for sure.
give it a 2 or 3 years. They'll be in the number 1 or number 2 spot in that NL Central
Yeah,
because you got to think about Brewers are coming down. The Cardinals haven't been themselves, but I mean the Cardinals are going to still fight their way up there. And then right now the Cubs, how they're playing,
yeah.
it's up there. Oh, we're forgetting about the Pirates too, man. The Pirates have been doing
Okay.
good.
I think they're 7-3 in the last 10 games. I mean,
Yeah,
pretty good. But
yeah.
moving on to around the league, All-Star voting. I don't know if y'all saw it has been updated.
Mm-hmm.
Ronald Acuna has the most votes with over a
A
million votes.
million.
Like
Wow.
I think he's the only one to hit a
He
million so
is.
far.
He is.
I mean, it's well deserved. I think he's having an MVP like season.
MVP season, dude.
Yeah,
It is.
and then he could be that first 30-30 guy. No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, 40-40 guy. And that's and then it hasn't
Well,
been
I
done.
wonder who was the last Braves player to get the 30-30.
Was
Let
it
me double
Hank
check
Aaron?
on that. Not even close. I don't even think that's even.
No,
I'd
like
probably put Andrew Jones or Chipper Jones. But yeah, go ahead. I'll look for that real quick.
no, and then Atani is second in votes with I think 900,000, and then Alvarez is the lone Astro leading votes in the outfield. But there's a lot of Blue Jays this year for the All Star voting. I think the blue besides Marcus Simeon, uh, the whole infield is the Blue Jays players with both Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero, and Matt Chapman leading the race. Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, and Andy Rushenson. Um, like to finish off the field. But I don't know. I think Jonah Heim has had a little better season than Andy Richardson. I think Wadon could be well deserved. And on the National League side, like how we said, Acuna's leading the votes. We got Lourdes Gurriel Jr.,
Yeah, I
Mookie
saw that
Betts
one.
leading
I
off
was like,
the
oh
yeah.
shoot.
And then to wrap up the infield, Nolan Arenado, Orlando Arcia, Luis Arraez, which is that one's an easy one. Freddie
Yeah, dude.
Freeman and Sean Murphy, and then JD Martinez DH. That's a pretty good squad.
I think man, dude, I'm telling you, I think the Astros should have gotten JD Martinez. I think that was a great pick for the Dodgers, man. He's done really well for LA. Okay, so I did find who was the last Braves player, and you want to know who it was? You want
Who
to take a guess real quick?
I'm probably not
Oh,
gonna be able to guess.
You said Hank Aaron, so that's your guess already.
Yeah, there you go.
Ronald Acuna, 2019. He did it. He had 41 home runs and 37 RBIs. I'm not
Oh
RBIs.
yeah,
Sorry, stolen bases. I meant.
yeah. He was the closest one. Yeah. Okay. No, no, no.
But other than that, 1990 was Ron Gant. He did it 2 times, 1990 and 91 for the Atlanta Braves. That
Oh
was
wow. Okay.
Braves trivia from an Astros podcast. How about that?
I don't think many people are gonna be happy about that. That old rivalry between the Astros and Braves. But
But I do think for the Astros and the pitching side of things, I think Framber Valdez and Christian Javier do get in.
yeah,
Um, I think if we don't know the rankings yet in each position, usually they do post that. Maybe they post that tomorrow because just yesterday, they did they just did the update for number one. But yeah, I mean, well deserved for Acuna being that first one to be 1 million. But Alvarez, I figured that was going to happen either way.
yeah. Do you think we see another Astro in as a reserve? Because I know Altuve is second in the
Is
second
he
base.
really?
Yeah, he's second behind
Wow.
Marcus Simeon. Yeah,
Well,
so
Simeon deserves it. I'm not gonna lie about that.
mm,
He's done a really great job. Andres Jimenez hasn't been having a good
no.
season. Gleyber Torres, of course, has not had a good season.
But do you see like
Uh,
any Astros player get in as reserved?
I think Kyle Tucker will get as a reserve. Um, maybe Machete. Machete, I feel like he does
Think so?
deserve some. I think he deserves it, but of course, word to the fans. The fans got to vote. And I mean, Vimaldi was I think 3 last year for the Dodgers, the 22 All-Star game. I think he was third or fourth that he
Yeah, but
just missed it.
but I feel like the top three right now is Andy Rushes and Jonah Heim and probably Will Smith. No, I'm sorry, well, not
Will
Will Smith.
Smith's in
Yeah,
there.
National League. Who will be the third guy for the American League?
That's what I'm saying. Who I mean,
Yeah,
who do
you're
you
right.
got?
Could be.
I mean, defensive wise and you know, baseball IQ wise, I think it's Maldonado. But yeah, I do think Altuve does get in. I think
I
Tucker
think
gets
so.
in for reserve. For that, for sure, them two guys. Bregman hasn't had the
Hmm.
season he wants, and same thing as Abreu.
Nor Pena. So yeah, I think
Yeah,
those are the Astros might have just three offensive and a few pitches in there.
yeah.
You know what? I think Abreu gets in for
Wow.
a relief pitching.
I take it Jose
Oh
Abreu, but
no.
hey, I mean, if Jose Abreu does get on a hot stretch this June, maybe.
Uh,
But Brian Abreu, yes,
Brian.
I
Yeah,
do
Brian
agree.
Abreu.
Maybe Phil Maton because Phil Maton has been
Yeah.
doing really well too. We forgot about them two guys.
Yeah, for sure. Like the bullpen's been pretty good. But Yankees Red Sox rivalry again. It's been heated. I know there's been some fights. There's been some barking between them throughout the years, and it continues. So Nestor Cortez, before the series even started, they asked him about the Red Sox Yankees rivalry. And he's like, "Well, it's not really a rivalry right now because we're beating these guys. Like, I don't think it's like what Tampa and we have with Toronto. That's what he said. And I think the Red Sox use that as fuel because they took 2 out of 3 uh, um, against the Yankees. So again, I feel like I feel like that always comes back to bite you. Whenever you like talk bad about your opponent before
Yep.
like before the game's even played or the series isn't even started, that always comes back. Uh, that Pete Alonso, I don't know if you saw that series with the Braves
Yeah.
and the Mets. He was like, throw that pitch again after he hit a home run, and and I got the Braves' attention real quick, and
Hmm.
he got hurt. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I
I
know
don't, I don't think it was, but yeah.
he got hurt, and then those were honestly, I think those were like the most brutal losses for the Mets. The Braves came back 3 times, but they capped it off with a walk off home run. Like that's brutal. And I believe that was in no, I was in Atlanta. So yeah,
Yeah, that was in Atlanta.
yeah, in Atlanta, yeah. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's karma.
You never do that. I mean, Yankee fans should know. They keep saying F Altuve and they keep saying we want Houston. And you see, this is why Astro fans should never say nothing. Do not tell a team, wish a team or wish a player's downfall, anything like that. You never do that. Just let the players let the players do what they do. And let them I don't even know why Nestor Cortez is talking
He's in
if
the
he's on the IL. Like,
injured.
come on, dude. Come on, let's not talk. But yeah, I mean, karma. I believe in that. Like I said, but I mean, kind of too. That's Cortez ain't lying. I mean, the Rays and the Blue Jays are kind of the top rivals right now. But of course, that Red Sox and Yankees rival is always going to be in baseball history. Period.
Yeah, definitely.
But let's give a shout out to the Kutch as well.
Oh,
We didn't even
2,000
get to say
hits.
that.
I forgot
2,000
that.
hits,
Yeah,
man. 2,000 hits for Andrew McCutcheon. Doing it in a Pirates uniform too is even more special.
for sure.
We'll probably not see him hit 3,000. I
No,
doubt he'll hit three.
it's too late in his career.
Yeah, but he's came. I think he came up before Altuve though.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
so Altuve's still chasing 2,000. I think he's like what 1940 something or 1950 something.
It's
Yeah,
possible.
he'll get to 2,000 this year. It's just the remaining long future for him. If he can stay healthy, he could get it.
Yeah. Do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yes, being unbiased and being an Astros fan, all
No,
that
no, no,
crap.
no. McCutcheon.
Oh, nah, he's not. I'm sorry, he's not. I mean, he does have an MVP. He does have some silver sluggers. He does have some gold gloves, but it's not enough to get the call from the Hall. I think.
Okay,
What do you think?
that'd be close. Probably take him to his 10th year.
You think the 10th year?
Yeah, I could see that.
I wish, but I just don't see it, man. It's a very. I mean, Jeff Kent's one of the best second basemen. I mean, I think he leads second basemen in home runs, and he's not even in the Hall. So,
We'll see.
I mean, a lot of achievements. A lot of achievements. He didn't get a World Series ring either, so we will have to see. But that is all for the show. It has been a short show, like we said. We're back. We're just getting back. Thank
Back
you
into
for
the
your
groove of
patience.
things.
Yes, back into the groove of things. This is spring training right now for just one day. The next one will be better. But continue to follow us at Full Steam Ahead on Twitter, wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple. Follow us on there. You already know we'll hit our new episode coming out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well and TikTok at Full Steam Ahead. But Angel, you got anything else before I talk about two stadiums real quick and then sign off?
No, I do actually. Thank you for your patience. I know we haven't recorded in a while. Thank you for the loyal fans out there who, even though we haven't recorded, are still gonna listen and and always comment in our post and
Love.
just retweet and like our still getting that exposure. So like we thank you for that.
Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. But I went to two stadiums this past week, and it was Guaranteed Rate Field, home of the Chicago White Sox, and the Milwaukee Brewers being American Family Field. And I can't stand saying that damn name, dude. I just cannot. Miller Park, beautiful place. I think that is a very nice stadium. I think people really overlook it. I think, there's five close stadiums in Major League Baseball. American Family Fields being one of them. They actually had the roof open in the game.
Oh
It
wow.
was very nice to see the sun and that breeze of Wisconsin air out there. But that field was very beautiful. 9 out of 10. I'd give that rating. Great food, great fans out there. They even tailgate. I was telling you this off there. They tailgate baseball games big time. That's what I was telling you too. It just felt like a Green Bay Packers tailgate if I was going to one of their games.
But they got
Um,
all those Miller Lights.
Miller Lite, yeah, Miller Lite's big in Wisconsin. That's where it was founded. But yeah, great experience, great stadium, and then Guaranteed Rate Field. I gotta give that one a 7.5. Yeah, it was a nice field. It was a nice experience. But if you're gonna go there, I'm just warning you now. You better get your tickets in the 100 level if you're gonna want to be on the concourse. Because if you're getting 500 tickets and you want to try to come down to the 100 level, they ain't gonna let you do it. So that's my tip for y'all. Chicago dog, dude.
I was about to ask you that.
No, it's not the best. It is not the best. I'll go deep dish than the Chicago dog, though.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but other than that, like I said, like Angel said too, appreciate y'all loyal support and everything like that. We're back. We will get y'all going with the preview of the Reds, and we will talk about the the Nats series after the conclusion of it. So we'll see y'all guys later. Talk to y'all.
Peace.
See ya.